Hello and welcome to Sid's Little Corner of the Internet. We've got another Transformers review coming your way. This time around we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers R.E.D. Optimus Prime. So as we always do here, let's go ahead and take a look at that packaging. We'll bring that in so you can get a nice close look at that. So right up there at the top you have the R.E.D. Robot Enhanced Design. You have some Optimus Prime artwork right there. His name is Optimus Prime. This is a non-converting figure. Transformers up the side. You have your little window where you can see all the accessories. On the back, you have your product shots, and you have your warnings down here, and of course we have the sad baby. Over here on the side, you get a little bit of Optimus, and then there's the rest. Up top, Transformers. At the bottom, you have manufacturing information, and that does it for the outside of the packaging, so let's take a look at what came in there. And of course, we'll start with your favorite in mind. Mine. The little box or the little sheet of warnings all folded up nicely so we don't even have to read them. That's wonderful. And then of course you get the insert, which has some pretty cool little schematics there of Optimus, and you can see some accessories on the side there. Alright. And he does come with a good amount of accessories, so we'll go ahead and talk about those. I'm just going to pile them out here so we can grab them one at a time. So the first one that we'll start with is a fist. That's right, he comes with a fist. It's not badly detailed at all. I'm gonna go ahead and sock you with it. Put that off to the side, and oh, that was the right fist, because he also comes with the left fist. All right. And then you get the ever popular pointer finger. Everybody loves a good pointer finger. And then you get the, I'll start here with the Energon Axe. So you get the Energon Axe, and we'll get into detail on the figure here, but this just plugs right into where his hand once was. So nicely done on the Energon Axe. And then you get, these are actually two pieces, but I spent quite a bit of time actually fitting this gun into the hand the way that I like it, so I'm not going to separate them at this point, but looks like I have a little something. There we go. Yeah, you can see the gun is nicely detailed. Done well on both sides. And what I do like is they specifically molded the hand so the finger fits right into the port for the trigger. Now, at any given moment, Optimus is not practicing good gun safety here, because you never put your finger on the trigger unless you're ready to squeeze that trigger. So I can only assume that this gun is constantly firing. So there we go. Now we'll bring the big man in for his close-up. So before I do, just a quick background. The Transformers R.E.D. Robot Enhanced Design, these are just action figures. They are, you know, take your pick. They're like a Fortnite figure or anything from NECA, the Predators, the Aliens, anything like that. So this doesn't transform, but they try to make up for the lack of transformation with giving you a lot of accessories and a good amount of articulation and nice stability in the figures. So let's go ahead and we'll bring him in for a close-up here, and you can see that nicely done head sculpt with those pale blue eyes. And then come down here to the chest. And the nice thing about the chest here is it does open to reveal that matrix. And yes, the matrix is removable. There's not a whole lot that you can do with it. As far as I can tell, his hands don't really hold them in the iconic matrix pose, but it is available for removal. And then you've got that grill and the iconic Optimus Prime waist. And I think they're going for the cartoon look on these because it's not incredibly detailed, but what is done nicely. Gray toes on there. And there's the side. My smokestack is slightly bent, but this is a soft plastic, so it's fairly easy to bend back. And then there he is from the back. Like I said, with this being non-converting, they were able to put their design efforts into giving you a more complete, tune-accurate look for the figure. So no hollow areas, no backpack, no kibble. hanging off the robot, just tune accurate robot, if you will. Alright, so for articulation on this guy, something that I missed on my Megatron review, and I'm going to make up for it here, is the head does not just go side to side and up and down and around. No, they've added a step here. So I don't know if I'll be able to get a good look on it, but if you look in here, this is actually, I don't know what you would want to call it, maybe like two ball joints, one on each end, because you can get an extra degree of movement here. I hope I can capture it without getting my fingers in the way. So yeah, of course you can get this side to side, but you can also, let me hold him, get this side to side, and you can get the up and down, but you can also get forward and back. So Optimus and Megatron both can do the whole no you didn't kind of action, which is really cool, and I'm sad that I missed that on Megatron, because I would have liked to have done that with him as well. But it does give you that ability where you can have the head positioned like this, or bring it forward and have it positioned like that. So you do have that freedom of motion. There we go. And the way that I caught this was when I was looking at Megatron, I noticed that his head seemed slightly askew. When I was looking at him, it was like that, and it just didn't seem symmetrical, and it was bothering me. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Twist in the head, and then it hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, you can do that. So that's just a lot of fun. All right, so the head has a good amount of articulation in it, and for the shoulder, you can come up that far on the shoulder. You can go all the way around. At the bicep, you get 90 degrees. At the elbow, you get 90 degrees, and then you get bicep rotation. And then down here in the hands, you have the wrist rotation, and then you also have the wrist swivel, so you can give these a little bit of extra motion. And some of the hands, I'll just show you with one of the hands here, so we'll talk about the pointer finger. So some of the hands have a little bit more room than the ones I have on him right now, and you can see that you can move a considerable amount with those hands. So let me pull that out just a little bit, not all the way out, but maybe get a little bit more. So yeah, you can get a little bit with that hand, but trust me when I tell you, this hand does not do justice for the motion that you can get out of it. This hand is a little bit better, actually, so you can see a little bit there. Anyway, the Optimus figure does come with waist rotation. You can go all the way around. Unfortunately, unlike the Megatron figure, he does not have the ab crunch. Megatron had a 2-point ab crunch, which was just great. Optimus does not have that. I don't know why they didn't put it in here. I don't see any reason they wouldn't have been able to, but alas, it is not there. And for the hips, you can get out just about that far, which isn't great, but it's enough that you can still get some pretty good poses. You do get thigh rotation, and at the knee, you get over 90, so you get some good posability there. And then down here at the feet, this is something else that I missed on the Megatron review. The feet for Optimus, this is the standard way that you would see them. So you get, a little bit of toe down, you get a little bit of toe up, and then something that I discovered in messing with both of these figures is that you actually have the ability to pull down, and you get a little bit extra height, which also gives you the ability to do some extra maneuvering with those feet. So when you pull those feet out a little bit more, you can get a good amount of articulation in those. So that's really helpful. Also helpful if you want to help Optimus just, be a little bit taller than what he was. So something else, as I said, with the Megatron review, is these figures are inherently stable. Again, when the design for these were I guess when they came up with the design for these, there was no need to have to worry about conversion. So they were able to give them big old feet, and these legs, I will tell you, are the heaviest part of this Optimus Prime. I mean, they just drop. So now when he's upright, it's not that bad. Okay, so you can get a view like that. It's just these legs have so much weight in them. So his center of gravity is nice and low. So you can do some really cool stuff with it. I mean, you can get him bent over considerably. And even then, I think I can go further. Yeah, I can go to the point where they stop bending altogether. So, you know, you can get good articulation out of him. Now, going backwards is a little bit different because he doesn't have any heel spurs. But I wonder if I pull these out and maybe bring him forward. Oh, yeah, look at that. You get some really funky stuff. I mean, he would be a good dancer. That's impressive. So, yeah, articulation on these guys is really good. It makes them a lot of fun. And I collect Transformers for the point that they transform. You know, Optimus Prime is supposed to be a semi-truck. I want to pick up Optimus Prime and turn him into a semi-truck. But when I can't, it's things like that. That posability, that shelf presence, the tune accuracy. Those are the things that are going to sell me. And I'm sure that's the way you guys would feel about it as well. So if I'm going to get a figure that's just an action figure and doesn't turn into a cool machine or a beast of some kind or anything like that, or a dinosaur, then he better be well done. And I would say for the most part that this figure is well done. Now, something else that I mentioned in the Megatron review, you do have some injection molded flow lines. You can see it particularly in the darker colors. And that's just the price you pay for injecting so much plastic at one time. I mean, you don't have a lot of hollow areas on this guy, so you're shoving a lot of plastic, molten plastic, into that mold. And, you know, it's the lesser of two evils, I suppose, where you're going to get some flow lines as long as you can get a complete mold out of that and get a part that's fully formed, if you will. So what I'll do now is we'll talk about the accessories. We'll pop those on and off, and then we'll do some comparisons, and then we'll wrap this up. So for the accessories, you know, which are the hands, well, all you do here is you just simply grab onto the hand and pull, and it takes a good amount of effort. And then you get that real satisfying little pop. I like that. And then you can just pick whichever hand you want, plug it into the hole, and then you've got Optimus Prime pointing. So there you go. And now he's like, you know, doing the staying alive pose. So he's John Travolta right now. And now he's telling people only you can prevent forest fires. Or I want you for the Autobot army. You know, that kind of stuff. And you can take the left hand, satisfying pop, and give him the left hand fist. There you go. So yeah, you can stick some different hands on him. And then of course, you can use the gun and the Energon Axe. So we'll take that out and put the gun on. Stick that in. And take this one out. And stick on that Energon Axe. And there you go. So now we've got him looking all nice and in battle. So yeah, for being a non-converting figure, I like this guy. You know, of course, Optimus is always iconic, right? But he does have a good shelf presence, and because he's an action figure, you can do a lot of cool stuff with him, and you can have that tune accuracy, and you know, of course, you can bring Megatron in, and then they can have their battles, and you know, Optimus could kill him in cold blood, that kind of stuff. So, all right, now let's talk about the comparisons, and we'll give you some final thoughts on this. So let's straighten you out. There we go. Get you nice and proper. All right, so the first comparison, I've already brought him out a couple times, but let's go ahead and we'll bring him out again, is Megatron. So you can see how these two guys look together. This is the Transformers R.E.D. Megatron, robot enhanced design, non-converting figure, and the Optimus Prime of the same thing. So I think they look pretty good together. I've got Megatron's head off to the side a little bit. There we go. Straighten that out. So yeah, overall, I think these two, this really captures my childhood. You know, no, I don't get to transform them, but they still look pretty good. All right. And next, since this is a non-converting figure, you know, normally with a Transformers or an Optimus Prime review, at some given point, you would see the truck version of Optimus Prime, and we don't get to do that here. So I figured I would bring in the non-converting truck version of Optimus Prime. So this is just one of those metal kits that you get from Walmart or Target or anywhere like that, and you got a little Optimus Prime under there. So robot mode doesn't turn into a truck, truck mode doesn't turn into a robot. So there you go. All right, next we will bring in the OG. We'll bring in Optimus Prime G1, so you can see how he looks there. Yes, my Optimus Prime does not have a fist. Didn't even think about it till just now. I might be able to temporarily give him one. Hey, there you go. So, I don't think it's going to work. His joints are too loose. Oh, it's going to fall. Dag nabbit. That would have been perfect. Wait, maybe I can do this. There we go. All right. There we go. There you got Optimus with a fist temporarily. So that works. All right. Thank you, G1. Get you on out of the way. Next, we'll bring in the Evasion mode Optimus Prime from the Bayverse movies. So you can see how those two look together. I figured I'd just bring in a few Optimus Prime with the cab over model, not the long truck version. So that way you can see how they look. Next, we will bring in the Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie. See how those two guys look together. All right, move him on out of the way. And next we will bring in my Universal Scale, the Earthrise and or Kingdom Optimus Prime. Those two guys actually look pretty good together. I like that look. Get his feet straightened out a little bit more so you can see how that looks. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All right. And last but certainly not least, we will bring in MP10 Optimus Prime. I do not yet have an MP44 in my collection. If I did, I would be bringing him out. But that's still a ways off before I can get an MP44. But there you see the Optimus Prime Red next to the Optimus Prime MP10. All right. Whoa, he's down. Are you all right? Don't worry, everybody. He's okay. No worries. All right. So let's go ahead and we will get this all straightened out, and then I'll give you some final thoughts on the red Optimus Prime. All right, guys. So my final thoughts on the Transformers Robot Enhanced Design Optimus Prime are this. Plain and simple, he's a non-converting figure. So if you are somebody who absolutely positively has to have a Transformer that transforms, this is not the guy for you. If, however, you enjoy action figures in general, then I would give this a soft recommendation. I can't enthusiastically recommend him because he's $20, and I find that a little bit difficult to process. I would have been more apt to enthusiastically recommend him if he were $15, but I do think that the overall quality is there. He has a good solid feel. The posability is outstanding. The accessories make him a lot of fun, and the fact that, you know, they're pumping out the other iconic characters, like we've seen Megatron already, Soundwave. I know that they've got a few from Beast Wars and Transformers Prime coming out, so I think this adds a lot of fun. You know, these are good figures for kids. They're good figures for adults. And personally, I'm glad I picked this guy up. So with that being said, I would give this Optimus Prime a soft recommendation. On another note, just real quick, I did have a little bit of fun over the weekend with the Optimus Prime and the Megatron. I took a few photos and posted them to our Facebook page. And because of their posability, they were just a lot of fun to take some photos of. So I only put a couple up because I'm still trying to get my photography shoes under me a little bit more. But if you guys want, feel free to go check that out. It's facebook.com/SidKReilly. And it's just a public page, so you can just pop on there, take a look. Hope you enjoy them. And with that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. So just in conclusion, yes, if you don't mind the fact that he doesn't transform, this is a fun figure. I recommend picking him up. With that, we'll wrap this up, and I'll say thanks again for tuning in. And as always, we're available on YouTube. We're available on Rumble. We're trying to establish a Twitch presence. And, of course, we're on Facebook. So no matter where you're watching us, be sure to leave us a comment. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see next, what we could be doing better. And, of course, if you're on YouTube, smash that like button. And Rumble, hit that Rumble button. And no matter where you're watching, be sure to subscribe because we're going to keep bringing some more content out to you guys. So with that, I will stop my talking and I'll let you get back to your day. You guys take care. We'll see you next time.